Well, that's not a chauffeur's hat he's wearing, it's a police one, because this week we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of one of the most famous driving schools in the world, the Hendon Police Driving School. Although this particularly elegant chase car dates from 1937, the college itself was founded in 1934 by no less a person than Lord Trenchard, the man who created the RAF. And the story goes that in the early 30s, there was so much public disquiet over the number of police cars involved in road accidents that Lord Trenchard called in that famous Speed King of the 1920s and 30s, Sir Malcolm Campbell, to put a bunch of his drivers through a road test. They all did superbly well, but out of that came a decision to set up a special school to cope with the very special problems of police driving. Since then, of course, the cars have changed somewhat, and the school has won an international reputation. These days, to be Hendon trained is an accolade that rings around the world. Deputy head of the school here is Superintendent Turner. Superintendent, we've got the old Wolsey here, which can do about 60 miles an hour downhill with a following wind, and that 120-mile-an-hour rover there. How have the techniques you teach changed over the years to cope with those differences?
Well, of course, alongside that tremendous increase in performance that's come about, there has been enormous changes in vehicle design which have compensated for that. But despite all those enormous changes in vehicle design, the basic principles that we taught all those years ago are just as valid today and are taught here today.
You mean the basic principles of controlling a car?
Absolutely.
How would you estimate the influence and reputation of the school throughout the police force?
Well, quite apart from the obvious influence of skill and safety in driving, I think the other vital influence we've had is to add to the public confidence it has in its police force, which is so vital to the manner in which we police in this country. Driving plays an absolutely vital part of that overall picture which the public has of police.
Well, that was a pretty typical situation. I wasn't travelling very fast, about 20 miles an hour, on a very wet and greasy surface, not unlike many roads in this country in the winter. Imagine the situation: a child runs out in front of you, you jam on the anchors, your eyes glaze over, you lock the right knee and you lock the wheels. And from then on, you're really a missile travelling out of control because you can't steer once those wheels are locked. Now, to deal with that situation here, they teach a technique known as cadence braking. Now, a great deal of nonsense is talked about cadence braking. Let's be quite clear what it is and what it isn't. It's basically a technique for unlocking the wheels once they've locked. It involves stamping hard on the brake. Once the wheels start to lock, you lift the foot off, so the wheels roll momentarily again. That's very important. Then stamp hard on the brake again. It doesn't reduce the distance you need to stop. If you've got a certain velocity, you will need a certain distance to get rid of that velocity or hit the car in front of you. What it can do is allow you to retain control of the car so you can steer right up to the last moment and perhaps steer around that child. Now let's watch an expert having a go at demonstrating cadence braking. And first of all, he's going to lock the wheels.
Right, we're going on towards the slippery surface now, and as we go onto it, straight up the car, we'll accelerate towards the bollard, and this time we're going to hit the brakes, skid, steer like that, and we're going to hit that bollard well and truly. No steering whatsoever.
Well, fortunately that was just a bollard, but clearly for bollard read child or car, and he would have smashed into it. Now he's going to try cadence braking and try and steer around that bollard.
Right, go onto the slippery surface again this time, and as we accelerate across the top, we're going to cadence braking, hopefully miss that bollard. So maximum braking, release the brakes, maximum braking, release the brakes, maximum braking, and again we've stopped.
Well, it was very neat to watch, Arthur, very clear cadence. Arthur, are there days when you go out and say, I'm going to use cadence braking today because it's wet and greasy?
No, never. I always go out, drive around, drive according to the road circumstances. If it's slippery, then cadence, but otherwise no.
Are you saying that cadence braking is basically a technique of last resort when everything else has failed?
That's right, when everything else has failed. Hopefully you've done everything right, it's only when you haven't that you last resort.
Now, a lot of people, of course, claim that cadence braking is a very clear technique for reducing stopping distance. Can it?
No. Literally, you will not pull up any quicker by using cadence braking. The thing you gain by cadence braking is that you've got the opportunity to steer away from the danger.
How would you say the average punter driver like myself is going to get a chance of practicing cadence braking? Or can we only use it when all the chips are down on the bus or the child is in front of us?
That's about it. Unfortunately, there is nowhere for you to learn where to do cadence braking, or anywhere for you to practice it. So a case of, hopefully you've read something and put it into practice.
So are you saying that the critically important point for the driver to remember is that when his wheels lock, he's got to get his foot off that brake?
That's right. We get maximum braking just before the wheels lock up. If that is the case, we've got to get our foot off the brake to go back on again so we get that maximum braking. So we hit that brake, no finesse at all. Hit it as hard as you possibly can. We hit that brake hard, maximum braking takes place, and then we release the brake so that we can go back onto the brake again. As long as we release the brake, we're getting maximum braking every time.
Arthur, thank you very much indeed. Right, away from Hendon for the moment to one of the cars that caused a great deal of interest at this year's motor show, the Saab 9000. Frank Page has been to Sweden to give it a run. This place has won a reputation that's spread right around the world. Although its main job is to look after the training of London's policemen, in its time it's trained policemen from 60 or 70 countries, from as far afield as Aden, Australia, even Iceland. Now at the moment there are two Japanese policemen here, so at least we can teach the Japanese something. They are Inspector Sukahara and Assistant Inspector Nagao. Their instructor is Sergeant Turner. Let me speak to you first, Sergeant Turner. Do you teach exactly the same course to foreign students as you do to London's drivers?
Yes, we do. The system that we teach is exactly the same for whatever students we've got.
So you believe that the things we need to know about driving in London have validity, if you like, around the world, do you?
Yes, indeed they do. The dangers that exist on our roads exist on roads all over the world.
What would you say, in essence, is the main thing you're trying to teach?
I'm trying to teach basic car control, and I'm trying to teach them to recognise dangers on the road and to deal with those dangers properly.
You mean recognise dangers early enough?
Yes, nice and early, so that we can apply our system to that danger and therefore make the drive nice and safe.
Obviously, if you have students here from 60 or 70 countries, there are language problems. Do you have communications problems in getting across your points?
Yes, we've had a few small problems during the 6 weeks, but we've managed to overcome these, usually by sitting down talking about them and perhaps doing a few drawings.
Let me speak to your students now. Inspector Sukahara, have you enjoyed your stay at Hendon?
Yes, very good.
What would you say is the main difference between driving in Japan and driving in England?
In England, steering, push, and pull.
Yes?
Yes. In Japan, steering, cross hand.
You cross your hands on the steering
Yes.
wheel, not in this country, no. What about things like experience on the skid pan?
Yeah, in Japan, skid training, nothing.
Here?
Here, fast training. skidding.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes, very good.
Well, I understand both of you passed your course with flying colours, so I wish you all the very best of luck when you get back to Japan. Now, there's one skill the police driver has to have, of course, and that is handling the car at speed, in the high-speed chase, pursuing bank robbers down crowded high streets and so on. And you can only learn that skill through practice.
The pursuit exercise is one in which the student merely has to follow what we call the bandits, in this case myself. Looking for this exit on the motorway now. There's a heavy vehicle here. I'll just slow down a bit.
There's a turn off to the left onto the motorway, checking the mirror, just holding back for the moment in case the bandit takes that exit.
I'm going to tuck in front of this and see if he holds off. I'm just holding back now.
Coming in front of the heavy, and now we've got the option of going straight ahead or off left to the motorway.
He's held back. He's covered the exit to the motorway, which is what we want.
And the bandit's braking and taking the offside lane. I haven't got the option of the offside lane here. And the bandit's now coming back into the near side, looking into the roundabout, taking a lower gear. We've got a gap to go into the roundabout. I'm now pulling away from the one on my offside so I can go anywhere on the roundabout I wish to.
I'm going to turn round here at the triangle. I'm braking down now.
Bandit's braking the speed down.
I'm coming round.
Checking the mirror, safe to go round across in front of the vehicles coming towards us, and we're now going back towards the roundabout.
He's done that successfully. It's clear to go into the roundabout again now. It's right behind.
Safe to go into the roundabout, nothing coming in, and the bandit's now back on his way round the roundabout again. He's past the first junction, checking the mirror, still got nothing behind us as we come round the roundabout.
I won't signal this exit, it won't offend any members of the public.
Checking the mirror, we've got traffic coming in from the left, safe to go across in front of that, giving a signal for their benefit, and now coming off the roundabout, building the speed up, taking a second gear as we approach a ghost island which is protecting a small junction on the left.
And he's right behind now, it's covering me nicely. Straight bit of road.
Checking the mirror again, vehicles behind now dropping back, closing up on the bandit, the junction on the left appears clear, safe to go through that one. Ghost Island's finished just up here and the road bends round to the right.
There's a junction up there, I do intend to go left there.
Closing up on the bandit again now, giving me a chance to close up because there's a vehicle in front of him which is slowing him down. He may do a left turn here, checking the mirror to make sure it's safe to turn left. We've got one vehicle a long distance behind us, quite safe to go. He's turning left, taking a second gear as we go into the junction, turning into a narrower road now with hazard lines. He's turning, no, he's not turning.
That'll slow him down a bit to cause him to brake because he doesn't really know if I'm going or not.
Going past the small junction on the right and the road's bending round to the left. We've got a footpath down on the left-hand side, no footpath on the offside. The bandit's now building up speed.
So I can get a bit of distance between us now, just to stretch him on a bit.
A fairly narrow road now with hazard lines down the centre. Pedestrian pushing a cycle on the left, checking the mirror, coming out slightly to the offside, getting some vision over the brow of the hill, quite safely past the cyclist as the road drops down to the left.
I'm looking for an entrance on the left where I can turn the car round.
But he's coming back into sight now. Parked vehicle on the left, mirror just easing away from it. He's braking, checking the mirror, braking the speed off again. He's going into a small entrance on the left. He may be doing a turn round here. He's doing what appears to be a turn round. I'll take a first gear and go in after him so that he doesn't get too far ahead of us. He's going round again, checking the mirror. Safe to come round after him again, and we're following him right round in a complete circle. He's now going back out onto the road.
Looking left and right. Yeah, little wheel spin there, you'll have to watch that.
Spinning his wheels on the gravel, so we'll avoid that. Looking left and right, quite safe to come out. Gentle acceleration on the gravel, firm acceleration as we get back onto the decent bit of road surface, and the road's going round to the left again. Taking a second gear as we build up the speed.
Accelerate firmly away. Try and put a bit of distance between us, just to put a bit of pressure on.
Clearly these driving instructors at Hendon could make some of the best getaway drivers in London and earn themselves really big money. But now to fast driving of a quite different kind, indeed Grand Prix driving.